Adam stood on the old wooden porch of his family farm, gazing at the fields stretched out before him. The sun was setting, casting a golden hue over the crops. Adam loved this place. It was home. However, with each passing day, a feeling of unease grew inside him. He often felt stressed and unsure about his future. Those feelings weighed on his heart like heavy stones. Though life on the farm was familiar, it began to feel too small for his dreams. He wanted more. He wanted to find himself. One evening, after a long day of chores, Adam fell into a deep thought. His father had retired recently, and the weight of running the farm now rested on him and his mother. He felt responsible, but also trapped. His friends talked about their plans for the future, but Adam couldn't picture his own. He felt lost. That night, Adam realized it was time for a change. He could no longer ignore his personal struggles. He wanted to take control of his emotions and find guidance. With determination in his heart, Adam decided to leave the farm and move to the city. He believed that a new place would help him discover who he was meant to be. His mind was filled with thoughts of the city's lights, people, and opportunities. Yet, with excitement came fear. Would he be able to fit in? Would he be able to learn what he needed to succeed? At that moment, Adam knew he needed to learn about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage one's feelings. Adam wanted to gain self-awareness. He wanted to know why he felt the way he did and how to change it. On his journey, he packed a few books about emotional intelligence, determined to read them during his time in the city. He wanted to explore ideas like setting boundaries and practicing resilience. He felt these skills were what he needed to move forward. Adam began his adventure by reading each page carefully. He learned that it was okay to feel certain emotions. Emotions are not bad. They help us understand ourselves. He also discovered how important it is to express those feelings in healthy ways. Expressing emotions meant he would need to share his feelings with others. This idea made him nervous. His usual response was to stay quiet and put on a brave face. Would people understand him? As he continued to read, Adam realized he could not be alone in this journey. He wanted to connect with others, but was scared to open up. After a few days in the city, Adam found a local community center with workshops on emotional intelligence. With some courage, he signed up for a class. He learned methods for self-regulation and how to set clear boundaries. The teachers encouraged everyone to share their feelings. At first, it was hard for him, but slowly, he felt something change inside him. He began to see that everyone has struggles. By learning to connect with others, he was not alone anymore. Through this journey, Adam started to feel a sense of hope. He realized he could take control of his emotions and that they did not control him. With each page turned and each lesson learned, Adam saw the world differently. Though the path ahead was still unknown, he was ready to embrace the changes in his life and to grow. As Adam settled into life in the city, he felt excited yet overwhelmed. The bright lights and busy streets thrilled him, but every day brought more noise and new challenges. The fast pace of city life was different from the calm of the farm. Adam often felt lost in the crowd. He missed the quiet moments of his old life, but knew he had to adapt. Every morning, he took public transportation to his new job. This was his first step toward a better future. However, each trip made his heart race with anxiety. One rainy afternoon, everything changed. Adam had just finished a long shift at the café where he worked. He was tired and stressed. When he got home, he found a message on his phone from Sam, a friend he met at the community center. Sam was inviting him to a gathering with other new friends. They would share stories and enjoy some fun. Adam felt a mix of joy and frustration. The positive connection excited him, but the idea of opening up to others terrified him. He hated feeling vulnerable. As he slipped into discomfort, he decided he could not go. Instead, he isolated himself in his small apartment, thinking about how he always backtracked when faced with these situations. The walls felt like they were closing in on him. During that lonely evening, he felt a weight on his chest and a churn in his stomach. He closed his eyes and tried to breathe, but felt no relief. This was a significant moment for Adam. He realized that he was running away from emotions rather than facing them. In that moment of frustration, he remembered what he learned from his recent readings about emotional intelligence. He recalled how emotions are part of being human and that avoiding them does not help. Instead, it makes stress and anxiety grow stronger. Adam's mind shifted. He needed to take charge of his feelings rather than hide from them. He thought about the workshop activities that encouraged sharing emotions. If he could brave this challenge with friends, maybe he would feel lighter and stronger. With determination, Adam made a bold decision. He pushed himself to text Sam back. "Can I join you after work?" He typed, his hands shaking. His heart race quickened as he pressed send. He was scared, but he felt hope. Recognizing that he needed a change, he took this small, yet meaningful step to confront his emotions head-on. Later that night, as he prepared for the gathering, he felt nervous energy fluttering in his stomach. Yet, it felt different now. His fear was mixed with excitement. Adam knew this was an important chance to connect and share experiences with others like him. Embracing these feelings would help him grow. Thus, he resolved to be open with the new friends he would meet. When he walked into the room filled with friendly faces, a wave of warmth washed over him. The laughter and chatter made him feel welcome. In this moment, Adam truly understood that emotional intelligence was about recognizing and owning his emotions. Because of this gathering, he was ready to take charge. He wanted to learn how to relate to himself and others better. This was the beginning of his journey toward growth. It all started with accepting that the city could be a new home filled with opportunities and connections if he faced his emotions instead of running away from them. Adam felt ready at last to embrace change. After deciding to join Sam and the others, Adam felt a lightness in his heart. He knew this was his chance to take action and start his emotional intelligence journey. With fresh determination, he left his apartment, ready to learn and grow. He arrived at the gathering, greeted by friendly smiles and laughter. The warmth of the group made him feel at ease. It was the perfect place to begin understanding himself better. During the gathering, Adam listened closely as Sam led the group in sharing their stories. Everyone talked about recent struggles and how they felt. Some spoke about their fears, while others shared small victories. Adam felt inspired by their honesty. This was different from the way he used to handle his feelings. Rather than hiding them, they were showing their emotions openly. Adam realized he needed to be brave and do the same. It was a vital step in his journey toward developing emotional intelligence. Feeling encouraged, Adam decided to start reflecting on his emotions at the end of each day. He wanted to become more aware of how he felt in different situations. The next morning, he bought a small notebook. Each night, he would write down 3 things he felt that day. He labeled them with simple words like happy, anxious, or confused. This small activity brought many valuable insights. Recognizing how he felt helped him understand what triggered his emotions. It was like turning on a light in a dark room. In the following days, Adam dedicated time to learning more about emotional intelligence. He explored books at the library, searching for guidance. One book caught his eye titled Understanding Emotions. As he flipped through the pages, he found simple explanations about self-awareness. The idea was clear. If he wanted to manage his emotions, he had to first recognize them. Self-awareness became his focus. Adam learned that being self-aware meant paying attention to his emotions and understanding them. For example, if he felt nervous before a new task, he would think about why that was happening. Was it fear of failure? Or was it excitement? This reflection helped him separate feelings and find a way to respond better. One afternoon, while reading at a café, Adam found a workshop nearby focused on emotional intelligence. The title read, Building Self-Awareness. His heart raced with excitement, but also fear. Would it be too much? Could he really add more to his life? Taking a deep breath, Adam signed up for the class. He felt proud of this decision. It showed he was ready to take charge of his emotional journey. At the workshop, participants learned practical skills for becoming more aware of their feelings. They engaged in fun activities, like mindfulness exercises and group discussions. Adam practiced being present. This meant focusing on how he felt in that moment without judgment. During one exercise, he shared a moment when he felt frustrated about a task at work. Others related to his experience and offered support. This connection built him up. They exchanged tips for handling their emotions better. Through these new connections at the workshop, Adam realized he was not alone on this journey. Everyone has emotions that can be hard to manage. Accepting this felt liberating. He learned that expressing feelings and understanding them was a powerful step. Slowly, he started to feel like he had control over his emotions, and that made a world of difference. As days turned into weeks, Adam embraced this positive change with open arms. The path laid ahead seemed full of promise. As Adam continued his journey toward emotional intelligence, he felt both excited and nervous. He had learned many new techniques to manage his feelings. Journaling was now a daily practice for him. In the morning, He wrote about his hopes for the day, and at night, he reflected on his feelings. However, the process wasn't as smooth as he expected. He often struggled to find the right words to express how he felt. Sometimes, even as he wrote, doubts crept into his mind. Was he really making progress? Would he ever be good at understanding his emotions? During one particularly tough week at work, Adam felt overwhelmed by stress. The cafe had been busier than usual, and he struggled to keep up. On one hectic afternoon, a customer became angry about a mistake with their order. Adam felt the heat rise in his face. Frustration bubbled up inside him. He wanted to yell back, but he remembered his emotional intelligence lessons. Instead, he took a deep breath and calmly apologized. Although he handled the situation well, the encounter left him shaken. After his shift, he sat down to journal about his experience. That night, while writing, Adam felt frustration spill out onto the page. "Why is this so hard?" he wrote. "I thought I could manage my feelings better." He realized that learning to handle emotions was not easy, even with new tools. Adam felt stuck. The lessons he learned seemed fresh one moment, then slipped away the next. He began to doubt whether he could really become more self-aware. To add to this struggle, Adam sometimes felt embarrassed about sharing his experiences with others. At the workshops, some people seemed so confident with their feelings. He admired their ability to express themselves so easily. Adam wished he could do the same. The comparisons ate away at his confidence, making doubting his ability to change more intense. Would he ever be as strong as they were? Despite these challenges, Adam reminded himself that emotional intelligence was a journey, not a race. Each small step mattered. So, every day, he continued practicing mindfulness exercises. These exercises taught him to focus on the present moment. He tried to notice his feelings without judging them. Slowly, he began to feel more in tune with his emotions. But, days later, a sudden wave of anxiety took him by surprise. He found himself having thoughts about returning to the farm. What if he was not cut out for city life? That same night, Adam sat on his bed with his notebook. He found his mind racing with worries. Recognizing this, he decided to write down his thoughts right away. As he wrote, he recognized patterns in his feelings. He often faced doubts whenever he faced a challenge. This seemed to be a common theme in his life. Reflecting on this felt liberating. Instead of trying to hide his doubts, he chose to acknowledge them. He reminded himself that everyone faces difficulties as they grow. After writing about his fears, he felt lighter. In the next workshop, Adam took a brave step. He shared his struggles with anxiety and doubts. The group listened and supported him, showing that he was not alone. Their understanding helped him feel connected. This moment reminded Adam that growth comes with ups and downs. By accepting his feelings, he realized he was further along than he thought. Learning emotional intelligence was not just about mastering techniques. It was about embracing his journey, including every challenge along the way. Despite the hard moments, he felt a sense of hope. Every step forward, no matter how small, was a part of embracing change and the path to a stronger self. As time went on, Adam continued to grow his emotional intelligence skills. He practiced self-awareness and took part in workshops, but soon a major challenge arrived. The cafe where he worked planned to host a big event. It was an important evening with many people coming to celebrate local art. Adam was excited yet anxious. He knew the event would be busy, and he wanted to impress his boss. However, just days before the event, Adam faced a serious problem. A key staff member became very ill and could not work. This news sent shockwaves through the cafe. The manager called an urgent meeting to discuss how they would cope with the extra workload. Adam felt the pressure rise inside him as his heart raced. Could he handle this level of stress? During the meeting, the manager shared the new plan. Everyone would need to work longer hours that night to make everything successful. Adam heard his colleagues complaining. Some worried about the high pressure, and others expressed doubt about how it would all work out. As the chatter grew louder, Adam felt annoyed. He tried to focus on the solution, but he struggled to keep his emotions in check. That evening, after a long shift, Adam walked home with the weight of the world on his shoulders. Doubts began to swirl in his mind. What if he could not manage all the stress? What if the event turned into a disaster? Adam knew he had to remember everything he learned about emotional intelligence. The time had come to put that knowledge to the test. The day of the event arrived, and everything felt chaotic. The cafe buzzed with activity as staff rushed around preparing. Adam could feel his heart pounding in his chest. He thought about using self-regulation to stay calm. Before the doors opened, He took a moment outside to breathe. In these few minutes, he closed his eyes and focused on his breath. He remembered that staying calm allowed him to think clearly. With renewed confidence, he stepped back inside. As the event got underway, the cafe quickly filled with guests. People laughed and chatted while others admired the art on display. Adam worked hard, but noticed one of his colleagues, Jamie, looking stressed. Jamie wanted to speak to customers nicely, but the pressure was getting to her. Adam felt a wave of empathy wash over him. He understood Jamie's feelings well. Instead of focusing solely on his duties, he chose to lend a hand. After taking a deep breath, Adam approached Jamie with a smile. "How can I help?" he asked. Jamie seemed surprised but relieved at the same time. This simple act of kindness connected them. Adam felt a warm sense of purpose. By being empathetic, he made the atmosphere better and helped his colleague feel supported. As the night went on, things got even busier. A misunderstanding occurred when a guest was upset about their order. It quickly turned into a heated moment. Adam heard raised voices, and the tension in the room grew. This was a critical point. Hearing the anger, Adam felt his stress rise again. He remembered his lessons on emotional intelligence and knew he had to act. Staying calm, he approached the upset guest. "I am really sorry this happened," he began, using effective communication. "Can I make it right?" Adam felt nervous, but he spoke sincerely. Turbulent emotions were around him, but he focused on helping the guest feel understood and valued. He knew this was an important chance to show that he had come a long way. By using empathy and calm words, Adam took a giant step forward in mastering his emotional challenges. As he navigated this high-pressure moment, he firmly believed that he could control his feelings and inspire others around him. The night held great potential, and Adam felt ready to embrace it. As Adam stood before the upset guest, he sensed the tension in the air. The situation felt charged with emotions, and he knew that it could quickly spiral out of control. Yet, he focused on using his emotional intelligence skills. He took a deep breath, grounding himself in the moment. Controlling his emotions was essential now. He did not want to feel overwhelmed by anxiety or frustration. Instead, he remembered the importance of staying calm and empathic. "Could you please tell me what happened?" Adam asked gently. His voice was calm and steady. Listening carefully was important. The guests started to explain all the problems they had, their face red with anger. There was a feeling of urgency in their words. Adam nodded, letting the customer know he was paying attention. He could feel the person's frustration, and it was a challenge not to react at all. He thought about how he would feel if he were in their shoes. While listening, Adam practiced empathy. He reflected on how he might feel if the same thing had happened to him, waiting longer than expected for an order. In moments like this, it is crucial to connect. This helped him to understand the guest's feelings better. Showing empathy made Adam feel a genuine connection and allowed him to respond from a place of understanding. "I understand how disappointing this can be," Adam said. "I'm really sorry for the trouble. Let me help solve this problem for you." His voice remained soft but assertive. He spoke with calm confidence, letting the guests know they were heard while also standing firm in managing the situation. Meanwhile, Adam noticed Jamie, his colleague, standing nearby. She looked overwhelmed, biting her lip as she listened to the conversation. He sensed she was struggling with her emotions too. As he interacted with the guest, he caught her eye and smiled softly, hoping to remind her to stay calm. He was also aware that Jamie's reactions could add more stress to the situation. This thought encouraged him to be an example of emotional regulation. Dealing with the upset guest required not only patience, but also self-regulation. Adam could feel a rush of emotions inside him. He wanted to rush in and fix everything immediately. However, he reminded himself that rushing wouldn't help. Each moment mattered, and he needed to be steady. Thinking about his actions helped him focus, understanding that true leadership meant staying calm during chaos. As Adam continued to talk with the guest, he turned his attention to offering solutions. "I can bring you a new meal right now, and this one will be on us," he offered. Identifying a clear action reassured the guest and showed that he was committed to making things right. He put himself in the guest's position. What would feel fair to him? That empathetic choice created a shift in the room. The guests' shoulders relaxed a little as they considered Adam's offer. Watching the change was encouraging. Adam realized that showing understanding and providing practical solutions were powerful tools in managing emotions. The communication became effective, moving towards resolution and easing tension. With the guest beginning to calm down, Adam felt a spark of hope. The challenge had pushed him to apply everything he had learned about emotional intelligence. At that moment, though it was still intense, he knew he was not going to fall apart. Instead, he was learning and growing. As the night continued, Adam knew he was gaining strength through this experience. He began to believe in himself even more. In facing this emotional test, he was transforming not just for the night, but also for his future. As the evening continued, Adam felt a wave of relief wash over him. The upset guest had accepted his offer, and their mood began to shift. They expressed gratitude for the solution, their frown turning into a smile. Adam could hardly believe the change in atmosphere. Just moments ago, the situation felt daunting, but through empathy and clear communication, he had turned it around. In that moment, Adam realized something powerful. This was an emotional challenge that would have typically caused him to lose control. In the past, he might have become defensive or upset. Yet now, he felt calm and focused, his heart filled with a sense of pride. He understood that the skills he had worked so hard to develop were making a genuine difference in his life. As the cafe bustled around him with laughter and conversation, Adam leaned against the counter, taking a deep breath. He reflected on the journey that had brought him here. Not long ago, he felt lost and unsure. He struggled to understand his feelings and often let his emotions get the best of him. But learning about emotional intelligence changed everything. He had embraced self-regulation, kept practicing empathy, and learned to communicate clearly. Later on, Adam noticed Jamie wiping her brow as she rushed to finish her tasks. She looked overwhelmed again, so he approached her gently. "Hey, are you okay?" he asked, genuinely concerned. Jamie looked relieved to see him. "I just feel like everything is too much," she admitted, her voice low. At that moment, Adam remembered how it felt to be in those shoes. Not so long ago, he had been there himself. He chose to share what he had learned. "It's been a hectic night for all of us. It's important to take a moment for ourselves," he suggested. "Let's pause for a second, breathe, and find a solution together." Jamie nodded, appreciating his encouragement. Adam recognized that this was a pivotal moment for him, too. Most importantly, he realized how far he had come. He was using emotional intelligence not just for himself, but to lift those around him as well. As they took a quick break, they talked about ways to handle the busy rush. Reassuring one another created a bond. Together, they shared the tips Adam had picked up in the workshops. He encouraged Jamie to remember that it was okay to feel stressed and that they were in this together. Talking together made each of them feel lighter. Finally, as the event began to wind down, Adam reflected on the night. Challenges came, but through practice and patience, he had successfully faced them. He felt stronger, more confident, and knew that he could manage tough situations when they arose. Emotional intelligence was not just a skill, it was now a part of who he was. With tired but happy smiles, Adam and Jamie began to clean up. The sense of accomplishment filled the air. Adam knew that this experience would stay with him, reminding him of the worth of the growth he had achieved. No matter what challenges lay ahead, he now had the tools to handle them with grace. At that moment, Adam finally grasped the true meaning of embracing change. He smiled to himself, cheering quietly inside for his journey ahead, his heart swelling with hope. After the bustling event wrapped up, Adam took a moment to breathe deeply. He stepped outside, feeling the cool night air against his skin. The cafe was alive behind him, buzzing with laughter and chatter, but all he could think about was the night's intense moments. As the excitement began to fade, he felt a wave of reflection wash over him. This experience was more than just a busy evening at work. It was a turning point in his personal growth. Sitting on a nearby bench, Adam closed his eyes and let the memories flow through his mind. He remembered the anxious young man who first arrived in the city. That person often struggled with his emotions and felt unsure of how to face challenges. Yet tonight, he had faced a difficult situation head-on. This fresh recollection felt empowering. The memory lit a spark of pride within him. During the night, Adam had put into practice everything he had been learning about emotional intelligence. He had regulated his own feelings and remained calm amid chaos. Instead of reacting negatively, he had listened and offered help. Now, looking back at how far he had come, he felt gratitude for his journey. The confident, calm version of himself standing here was a testament to the hard work he had put in. The ability to manage his emotions had changed much more than his reactions in tough situations. It had transformed his daily life. Adam realized he communicated better with colleagues and friends. He was learning to express his needs and listen with empathy. Connecting with others felt more meaningful now. Each interaction held the potential for deeper understanding. The positive changes motivated him even more to keep practicing what he had learned. Furthermore, Adam thought about Jamie and how their conversation earlier that night had strengthened their teamwork. They worked better together, supportively tackling any stress that came their way. Adam felt the power of emotional intelligence not just for himself, but for others as well. His growth helped those around him too. The realization filled him with hope. Reflecting on the future, Adam had a renewed confidence. He understood that embracing change was part of life. Challenges would come and go, but he had the tools to navigate them. He felt peace in knowing that each difficult moment was an opportunity for growth. Through emotional intelligence, he had taken control of his mind and emotions. Adam opened his eyes and looked toward the sky. The stars twinkled brightly, and the world felt full of possibilities. He knew there would still be hard days ahead, but he was ready to face them. With each experience, he would continue transforming his mindset. The inner strength he found set him on a path of limitless opportunity. As he rose from the bench, Adam realized that every breath he took was a step forward. He felt renewed. Embracing change meant embracing himself, flaws and all. Tonight was just a beginning. It was time to take the lessons of emotional intelligence and turn them into lasting habits that would guide him throughout life. With every challenge he would face, he knew he would come through stronger. The journey of growth continued, and he welcomed it with an open heart. In the weeks that followed the busy cafe event, Adam was determined to make emotional intelligence a central part of his life. Every morning before going to work, he sat quietly with his notebook, reflecting on his feelings. He wrote down anything that came to his mind. This practice helped him become more aware of his emotions and understand the triggers that set him off. It was a journey that felt both important and urgent. One day at work, he faced a tough challenge. A new ordering system had been implemented at the cafe, causing confusion among the staff. Orders would often get mixed up, and tempers started to flare. The cafe was busier than ever, and Adam felt anxiety creeping in. He sat down for a moment before things got too hectic. He remembered the deep breaths that helped him stay calm. With a few focused breaths, he regained his composure and reminded himself how to handle stress effectively. Adam began to approach his colleagues with a calm demeanor. He welcomed feedback and understood when they felt frustrated. "Let's work together to figure this out," he encouraged, sharing his thoughts openly. Instead of letting his feelings of stress overwhelm him, he chose empathy. Focusing on the team's feelings helped create an atmosphere of support and collaboration. Together, they brainstormed a better way to manage orders, turning the moment into an improving experience. During this time, Adam also learned the importance of setting boundaries. At first, he found it difficult to say no. He wanted to help everyone and please colleagues. However, he started to understand that it was okay to prioritize his well-being. When his colleague Lisa asked him to cover an extra shift, he felt the knot of stress forming in his stomach. In the past, he would have simply said yes without thinking. Now, after some careful consideration, he spoke up. "I appreciate your asking, Lisa, but I cannot take on extra work right now. I need to rest to handle my other responsibilities." It felt empowering to set this boundary. Knowing when to say no allowed him to maintain balance in his life. It was a skill he practiced at work, but it spilled over into his personal life too. As time went on, Adam felt changes in his character. He grew more resilient, not just at work, but in all of life. When challenges arose, he faced them head-on rather than retreating in fear. He took each experience as a chance to learn. When his family called, seeking support for their own issues, he listened deeply and shared strategies from his learning. Encouragement flowed both ways, and he felt grateful for the connections. Even his friendships flourished. Spending time with Sam became an enjoyable time to practice being vulnerable. They shared struggles and celebrated small victories together. Adam realized that this openness fortifies friendship. The more he engaged openly, the more he felt understood. Emotional intelligence shaped the relationships around him for the better. With every step, Adam recognized his growth empowered his life. He felt balanced, like a sturdy tree, grounded in its roots, yet reaching toward the sun. Life began to feel less like a daunting struggle and more like an adventure of in-depth self-discovery. Every new chance was a reminder that he held the power to shape his responses to life's pressures. Embracing emotional intelligence not only changed his reactions, but also transformed his entire experience of life in the city, turning challenges into stepping stones toward an even brighter future. The cafe was alive with activity as Adam stood behind the counter, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction. The past few months had been a whirlwind of growth and learning. Each challenge he faced turned into a stepping stone toward understanding himself better. Tonight, the cafe was hosting another community event, and this time, Adam felt a different kind of excitement. He was ready, not just in his work, but in his heart and mind. Reflecting on his journey, Adam remembered the young man who had arrived in the city, feeling lost and anxious. Through emotional intelligence, he had learned to recognize and manage his feelings, but also to harness his emotions to create a fulfilled life. Emotional intelligence was more than just a toolbox for managing stress. It was a framework for building relationships and discovering happiness. With every shift, he practiced empathy, self-awareness, and assertiveness, forever changing how he interacted with the world. As friends and neighbors filled the cafe, Adam noticed them smiling and enjoying themselves. He reveled in the lively atmosphere created by shared laughter and connection. He realized that he played a part in this joy. Each time he chose to engage, each time he looked for ways to support his colleagues, he helped build a community where everyone felt welcome and valued. His heart swelled with pride. He was contributing to something larger than himself. Across the room, he spotted Jamie. She was talking animatedly with other staff members, clearly relaxed and in her element. They shared so much in this journey, both having learned the art of emotional regulation. Together, they had cultivated a supportive work environment, making the cafe feel like home. Just weeks before, Jamie had struggled with confidence, but now she flourished and shone. They had both empowered each other through their experiences. As the event unfolded, Adam thought about his family back home. He had taken the time to connect with them on a deeper level. Through honest conversations and shared encouragement, they had all grown closer. They began to understand each other's struggles from afar, making their support for one another even more meaningful. His family could see the positive changes in him, and they even mentioned how his journey inspired them. He felt a sense of pride for becoming a role model, helping others find their strength. In a quieter moment, Adam stepped outside to take in the view of the city lights twinkling like stars. The fresh air filled his lungs, bringing clarity. He had transformed from someone who merely reacted to his emotions to a person who embraced them. His emotional growth allowed him to shape his days positively. He recognized that his feelings were powerful allies, guiding him toward choices that aligned with his goals. As he returned inside, Adam felt empowered and balanced. He understood that emotional intelligence was integral not only to his personal happiness, but also to uplifting those around him. The journey was ongoing, but he was ready for whatever came next. Hope filled him as he thought about the opportunities ahead. The cafe did not just represent a job. It was a place where he had learned to be authentic and confident. With every interaction, Adam was building a fulfilling life. He was more engaged, compassionate, and positive. The knowledge he gained about himself continued to blossom. He was in control of his response to life's challenges. Every feeling now became a set of tools for creating joy and understanding in the world. With renewed determination, Adam knew he could confidently embrace this new chapter in life with open arms. Empowerment became not only his mission but a way of life, and he was excited to share this journey of emotional growth with all those around him. As the cafe event wrapped up, everyone buzzed with enjoyment and accomplishment. Adam looked around at the smiling faces of his colleagues and customers. It was clear that the effort they all put in had paid off. The climate of teamwork and understanding created a welcoming space for all. This felt like a successful ending to a busy evening. But more importantly, it marked a new beginning for everyone. After the event, he gathered with the staff to discuss how things went. They exchanged thoughts and laughed about little mishaps, but overall, they celebrated their collective success. Jamie shared how thankful she was for the support Adam had given her throughout the night. "You helped me remember that we can face anything together," she said, her eyes shining with gratitude. Adam felt warmth in his chest. Through the struggles, they had built trust and connection, strengthening their bond as teammates. Other colleagues shared their stories as well. The night had taught them about communication and support, valuable lessons that would carry on long after the event. Adam thought back to the setbacks he faced and how they pushed him to grow. From self-doubt and anxiety to understanding the power of emotional intelligence, Each moment shaped him into the confident person he now was. As they cleaned up after the successful event, Adam felt a sense of closure. But even as this chapter ended, he recognized that the journey of emotional growth was ongoing. He would continue to learn and adapt. Just like the shifts at work, life's challenges would change. He felt excited and ready for the next adventure. The thought stirred a lasting message within him. Emotional intelligence was not just a tool, it was a way of living. He understood the value of practicing each day. To everyone around him, he wanted to express how important it was to embrace this way of life. So, with a sense of purpose, Adam gathered the team. "Thank you all for tonight," he began. "What we did wasn't just about serving coffee. It was about being there for each other. Emotional intelligence helped us understand ourselves and others better. We each have the power to grow." Everyone nodded, feeling the warmth of his words. He continued, "If you want to embrace emotional intelligence in your own life, start with small steps. Each morning, take a moment to check in with your feelings. Ask yourself what landed well and what you can improve. Remember to listen to the people around you and share openly." His eyes sparkled with excitement as they listened. We have to remind ourselves that personal growth takes time, practice, and self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Use setbacks as an opportunity to learn and grow. You do not have to face this journey alone. Reach out, connect with friends, and support each other. As they finished up for the night, Adam could see renewed motivation in their faces. It felt good to know that he inspired others to take charge of their emotional health. Each small commitment could lead to significant changes. Every person had the power to create a more fulfilled life through emotional awareness. As they left, Adam felt proud. He had not only transformed himself, but also inspired those around him to do the same. This journey of embracing emotional intelligence was just beginning. Together, they would continue to learn and grow, adding meaning to their everyday lives. So, he cheered them on, reminding them, "You have the strength to embrace the journey. Take it one step at a time, and remember, the power is within you."